No one dies at Disney. When I finished my bachelor's, I applied to work in the park, I won't say which one, and I got lucky out of a few dozen. It was only a janitorial job, but nothing gave me the thrill more than working in the same park that basically housed my childhood. I was given decent pay, some benefits, and I was given a shift from noon to midnight, perfect to smell the cookies in the day and to enjoy the fireworks at night time. I worked with two people who wore suits, and they were some of the greatest people that I'd ever known in the park. One was called Jim, who was tall yet lanky, enough to wear the Goofy costume, and Damien, who had the talent to voice Donald perfectly, thus had the job of working the suit. Of course, they were a little older than I was, so they knew more about the park than I did. When I was starting to work there, Damien was given the task of showing me around the underground. "Oh yeah, bud, you'll love working here. Of course, you'll be down here most of the time, but you'll get used to it." Damien was the giddy one with lots of energy, so I had to keep up and pay attention simultaneously. He showed me the security room, the suit room, the medical room, and the garbage disposal machine where we had to wear masks to dispel the smell. At the end of the tour, we passed a door that seemed a bit off. There were many locks on it and what seemed like padding around the door frame. I asked what the door's purpose was, and Damien stopped. His normally cheery and boisterous demeanour shattered, and he spoke with fear and resentment. "Don't enter that door. Don't ask, don't wonder, don't attempt. Let's keep going." I was kind of scared after that, but I followed his orders. It was the fireworks during the 4th of July where I helped Damien and Jim into the new suits. These suits were different than the others, since they were made with dry fur and had plastic gloves and eyes. Jim didn't like the suit very much and had to wear it since it came with a raise, but Damien didn't care. They were going to stand on a raised platform and wave, so it didn't matter what suit they wore. I was just a bit concerned for them, but they reassured me it was going to be fine. I wish I convinced them to think otherwise. Later on, the fireworks were lighting up the starry night sky in the blaze of glory. I was cleaning up the underground during that time. That's when something happened. Disney paramedics rushed through, carrying two horribly burned suits that were crying and screaming in agony. I rushed behind and into the medical room after them. The new Donald and Goofy suits, which were still being worn by Damien and Jim, were present. Jim had lost both legs, half his right arm, and had firework shards on his chest, while Damien's suit beak was torn straight into the jaw, which was also torn off. He was missing both arms and the suit's legs charred into his. Turns out the fireworks had lost their stand during their takeoff and shot a big bomb near them, launching them into some flammable shrubbery. Sight made me so sick I nearly passed out. The boss came through and assured me it'll be okay, but I knew they were going to die. I ran through the underground into the bathroom and threw up and cried for my friends. Later on, their names were erased from the work schedule and their folders were burnt. The bosses and co-workers never mentioned their names again, and I heard the door that was padded was opened and then shut. I tolerated that job for the rest of the year, cleaning near their workstations, occasionally letting a teardrop fall. Every time I cleaned around that door, I sometimes hear a knock or a whisper saying, "Buddy." Something Damien used to say to me. I shuddered every time I heard it. I went to the boss to collect my last paycheck and I mentioned Damien's name. "Who?" "Damien. The Donald that died in the summer." Then he said something to me that took all the magic out of the park. "Don't be ridiculous, no one dies at Disney." I left with the fear in my mind and a gut-wrenching feeling. Whatever was behind that door, it was not special or important enough for them to care about. It haunts me to this day, what people don't know about